it's Brian and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm hoping if all goes well, we're gonna be able to put our Type 4 2-liter Porsche 912e motor back together, kind of a short, long block, at least get the case halves put back together, the timing set correctly, and everything else. So grab yourself a cold one and let's get into rebuilding this the way I'm gonna do it. All right, first thing to do, take some carb cleaner and start to spray down in between the bearings, in between the rods. Just basically go through and clean as much up as you can. You want to get all the dirt, all the oil, you want to get it as clean as possible. So take your time with your air hose and wash it up, clean it up. Let's pull it out. Go and air it off completely, make sure it's dry. Remember, it's all about keeping it as clean as possible. We want this as clean as we can get it. Next, I'm going to clean both sides of the case, and then I think we're going to put ourselves in a crank and a cam and a distributor today and get this done. So let's get to it. All right, so just like on the crank and rods, take your brake cleaner, your carb cleaner, and a toothbrush and your air gun, and again, go through and just clean every part of the case you possibly can. This is like my second or third time of cleaning up the case. We'll go ahead and we'll start doing a few things here. Take a little bit of our sealant, put it on that new O-ring for our oil pickup tube. Get it all the way around. That just helps it in case if you nick it or anything while putting it in, that's gonna help seal it up. It goes in just like this, kind of just pops in, and you'll kind of hear that pop, and you'll feel it go completely in, and you are good to go once you feel that kind of seat into place there in the case. Take your time, just get it go. All right, now the windage tray. Now I lost the other side of this windage tray, so my other two orange seals were on there. I lost the other two, so I had to order some. So while I was waiting for them, I went ahead and just installed the windage tray in the case, and here you can see me attaching the new orange seals around the windage case. Again, same thing. Took a little bit of sealer and just little dab here, little dab there. We just want enough to hold that seal in place until we can get that other case half off and bolt it up, and then she'll stick just fine. So just go around, make a couple spots, kind of line up that orange seal. And these do not come in a normal engine rebuild kit. You're going to have to order these separately, and I think the guys are at a 914 rubber are probably the only ones that have them. They're about $6 a piece. Next, I took some rubber bands, and I have these cool purple ones from Asparagus. We eat a lot of vegetables in this house, so I have tons of these purple cool rubber bands laying around, so I went ahead and put those on, and we'll let them sit up for a little bit before moving on to our next stop. All right, guys, we have the case on the upside. Tried my best to get in here and get most of that red RTV out. Just couldn't get it, but did get it the best I could. So we're gonna take our bolts, we got through bolts with our washer. You're gonna insert them and you're gonna drop them down in there. You're gonna put a little bit of Teflon sealer around this part right here that fits down in there. So pay attention, let's put these bolts in. So I typically will just kind of like so. Then drop it in. So I'm going to do is, instead of turning it all the way over, I'm going to go about right to there. Take a clip and just snap in. Just like that. Push it down so it engages in that hole. And we'll do there it is. Push it down, holds it in place. Go ahead and clean this case one more time. Looks like still got some oil coming out of there. Okay, so I want to make sure all these are smooth. I'm just going to hit them real quick with a clean rag. So that first back bearing, and probably didn't see me do it on camera, but I made a little mark on here to know how I can line it up. Remember, that dowel pin hole always goes to the flywheel this way. So we're just gonna coat this up for a minute here. Make sure I get it good and lubed in. Now this is not the only way to do it. This is just one of the many ways you can perform this task. Good, good. And just a little bit more on here. Good. This here is going to go into the case so it doesn't need it. There'll be one there. There we go. There's that smaller bearing. And we'll just put a little bit in here. Nice coat there. All right. Okay, put the lid on this, put this away. Then before I put the crank in and put those bearings in place, again, I'm just going to put some oil down in here. And I'll leave that one there. Let's put my head in the camera to see. Right there. And there's not one there. All right, cool. All right, so again, bearings go on with the dowel pin going to the back of the motor. So it'll go on like so. I got my indicator lines. Same way with this one. Dowel pin, it's right there. Goes to the back. Goes on like that. Okay, moment of truth. Let's put it in the case. All right, here we go. Let's sit down in there for a minute. Go ahead and we'll line up this back one. Actually, let's do this front one. This is always the hardest for me. There's it. All right, so I turned the camera off just because I needed a break. I came back and that number, this first bearing here, finally just dropped right in. This one here just dropped right in. Now, there it is right there. Hear that kind of clock down, lock down? Okay. Woot woot. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spray this cam off real quick, make sure it's nice and clean. So right there, there are two dots, a dot here and a dot there. They gotta line up with the one dot on the cam. So it's kind of one of these games where you kind of have to stick it in there between the two dots and kind of roll it in. Make sure all those are out of the way. Okay, try this again. So there's your one dot, there's the two dots. Kind of slide it in there like that. Kind of let it roll in. Then you can kind of test it to see if it's still in line. I'll put my head in the way. So, as you can see, the cam now is, oh, there it is. Now it's down. Double check it. Yep. So that timing mark now has it right on center. So that, I'm gonna go ahead and lube up. Let's lube up the cam lobes. Take you back up. Let's see how this goes real quick here. So that looks, feels good. So we are reusing my cam only because of the fact that it only had around 4,000, 5,000 miles on it when my engine blew that cylinder. So I'm gonna reuse it. I'm gonna roll the dice. It's a budget build. It's a redneck cowboy Porsche motor build, but I am gonna use driven assembly grease to put on the lobes for when it first gets started up. So let's go and put some of this on and we'll move on to the next part. But there's 4 lobes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this part and this part, that's for the cam rides in the case. So you don't want to put anything there, just on these 4 right here. And you're going to use this whole package, so don't be afraid to lube it up good. And you should be able to get your fingers all the way around, but if not, then just turn it here in a minute. Okay. I'm just going to rotate this real quick here. Okay, now that we have the timing set, before we start going to fill this case up, this is when I'm going to have some fun and just make sure that we got oil everywhere. Nice guy put that cardboard down there, huh? Come up like that. And again, I just want to make sure okay. Well, I think now is the time that we, I think this is when we start putting on our screw stuff. Okay, this is going to be one of those redneck things that you're just going to go, what in tarnations? So this is that front seal that goes right in here. Right, like that. And this is that rear main seal, and of course it goes in just like that. Now you can pound these in after the case is put together, but I've learned that if you just put them in now, you save yourself having to bang those damn things in. So let me show you how I do that. A little bit of the Permatex Forma gasket. I know, I don't usually glove up for these things, but we're starting to mess with some nasty stuff here. Okay. Typically take it and go around half. Take it and set it into place. Okay, there's one. And the inside part always goes out and that straight part goes to the outside. So again, 50%, maybe it's a little bit more. Good and good and good. Take it and set it into place. Okay. Now's the fun part. Get you another one of those clean rags. And again, we're just going to clean this as much as we can. Now here on top, not so much, it'd be too cleanly, but, and then do the other side of the case as well. So I'm gonna use Yamabond 4, gentleman named Ian, who has a YouTube video channel as well. He's building his Type 4 for a 914, and kind of recommended this, and I kind of want to go with it myself because I'd heard other people tell me that the older style gasket makers we've used in the past are just not the same. So I'm just kneading this up a little bit, getting it kind of worked over a little bit, and then we're just going to take it and take our time and get it all the way around without touching anything we don't need to. So let's have at it. A little bit there in that corner. And again, this is also put a little bit around this cap. And of course, put a little bit of a dab, more dab in the corners. Okay, then just making sure, going back around. Good, good, good. There. Okay, now got the Yamabon on all around the perimeter. Now I'm going to put a little more of that seal right there. Just want to make sure I got that off. Okay. There's that. Okay. Now, keeping these damn things up is going to be a challenge. Is to get this down. All right, rubber out time. Let's put these bolts in. Let's see if we can't kind of shoot them up that way. So we're back to our white. And again, we're just gonna coat those up really good. Okay. Okay, put these bolts on. So right now they are just snug. I rotate this motor. So that's going to keep them up. I think it's sitting right. This should work. Woo-woo! Okay, now final torque coming. There's 25 there. Just want to see that one more time. Just looks so nice.